Good evening, Instagram Live. This is Chaplain Anthony James, Marketplace Ministry, coming to you live and direct, where things happen, where healing takes place, and all that good stuff. And just touching bases with you tonight, looking for an hour of power, allowing God to crash in on us and just, cover this community awareness, community, activities, community involvement, just a recap on, previous weeks or this past week when I was on, just covering, based on doing things inside out, working inside the house, inside your, wherever you got to do to work on yourself, work on your family, work with your family, so that way when you go out in the community, that way you could be effective. So again, welcome again, Marketplace Ministry, where, we just have real talk. Our slogan is real talk. So, when things happen, we make them happen. All right, moving right along, waiting for my partner to come in, just hope all is well with you and the family out there in Instagram land, so yeah, just work with us, rock with us, join us, tap in what we're doing. Got some good stuff for you, got some real involvement, some real talk, some real concise clarity that we're dealing with, even though in the times of this pandemic, this protesting that's going on, we just, Marketplace Ministry, God has given us a platform to make some things happen and to start moving as one body, as one. And I just believe, the new order, world order, coming from God's way of doing things is collaboration, where we come together and we just, dialogue and figure some things out so that way we can be on the same page. Good. What's going on in these times, even though things seem crazy, we're just gonna spearhead things. What's going on, my brother?
What's going on, Chap? Man, good to be back, man.
It's good, man.
Say, man,
Right.
just working, man, and the grind of that, man. Just trying to do all I can to get God's souls, man, to God, man. That's all I'm doing, man. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay. Introduce yourself, man.
How y'all doing? Marketplace Ministries, man. This Keith Henry, co-founder of God and Soul of God, man. That's what we're about. You know what I mean? Yes, sir.
Right. Yeah, just recapping. You know what I'm saying? I know we gotta handle our business. We gotta, the Bible says if we don't work, we don't eat. So, you know what I'm saying? We got to make sure our home, this is basically what we've been talking about, handling home first, you know what I'm saying, the inside out, so that way when we do go and do what we do out in the community, we're effective, you know what I mean? And we're effectuous in what we're doing. So, yeah, we again, Marketplace Ministry, where healing is taking place, where we're allowing God to use us and to, reach people as much as we need to, one person at a time, how many ever people come in, if we can reach one, we did our job, you know what I'm saying? And hopefully prayerfully, that'll be become a domino effect. So yeah, man, this, God is really doing some amazing things, man. You know what I mean? He's really doing some amazing things. And so I just believe, me and my wife was talking earlier, just talking about being obedient, not when God speak a word to you, instead of us changing what he said. I think when he speak, we need to move on what he says instead of trying to add to what he said.
Right.
So I think when we do that, then we can see things happen, because faith without works is dead. And once our faith is trust in what God is saying to us, we just got to not try to change it up. And I've done that so many different times and I always wonder why this thing ain't working like that. Why is it ain't working? I know what God said to me, but I try to put my twist on it. You know what I mean? When you try to put your twist on it, God don't need your twist. He's obedient. If he tell you to go take 7 steps, and make a left and stand still. That's what he mean. He didn't say make 7 steps, stand left and hop.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he want to see if we're listening, if we can be trusted with what he's given us. You know what I mean? Because the bottom line is you got to look at it like this, like as opposed to working on a job. If your boss or your supervisor tell you to do something, you're gonna do that thing to the letter, no more, no less. So because you know there's a problem if you don't do what they tell you to do. So God is not going to chastise you. He's gonna let you bust your head because you didn't listen to instructions. You didn't follow instructions the way you were supposed to.
Right.
And so that's takes practice. You know, I believe the more we practice what we do and hearing from the Lord, like we hear from people on our jobs, we have to do that.
Right.
You know, excellent. So we have to do that just a little bit, probably more with God. But God is saying, render due to Caesar. If Caesar tell you to do something, you're doing it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Don't have them taxes filled out. Fill them taxes out the wrong way. And see, that's what God is saying. So if I give you instructions, you know, it's time to just listen and do it. You know, and so that's where I'm at right now. That's where Marketplace Ministry, that's where we're headed. We're trying to be obedient so God can pour into us. You know, he can pour the new wine in the old wine, get rid of the old wine skin so he can pour the new wine in us. What do you think about that, Keith?
Yeah, obedience is greater than sacrifice. You know what I mean? And I can only speak for myself as far as this situation. You know, me being on today. You know what I mean? I left work to get on here. You know, God said. You know, God said, hey, don't do that. You know what I mean? Don't put money over ministry. You know what I mean? Like, if you put money over your ministry, it's like you put money over me. You know what I mean? And that's not what I want to do. You know what I mean? As you can see, I'm here. You know what I mean? I wish I would have got here a little early, but I'm starting to understand that once you really try to strive for God, it's going to be, things in your way. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm starting. I'm not even letting it bother me anymore. Like on the way home today, had to put some coolant in my car. It was running hot a little bit, whatever. But what I'm trying to say, my point is, I didn't let that stop me. I didn't let that really, give me no excuse or nothing. You know what I mean? Like I'm understanding now that it's gonna be obstacles in your way. You know what I mean? It's not gonna be just a smooth transition. Like you might think, okay, well I'm trying to do the right thing. I'm doing what God said. But it's one, like you said, chap, at your job, your supervisor tells you to do something, you're gonna do it. But it's a difference when you're doing with God because it's gonna be obstacles in the way. Like God's gonna say, okay, like you say, sit them steps in the middle, but He's not gonna tell you that, hey man, you might catch a flat, you know what I mean, whatever. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna keep on going? Or are you gonna say, well, God, I tried. I tried to go to sleep. But He ain't looking for a try. He's looking for a successful completion, and that's what we on. You know what I mean? I thank God by me being here. It was simple of me completing what He asked me to do. You know what I mean? Because somebody on here gonna hear what we need to say. You know what I mean? Because it been like that ever since we've been starting. Like somebody say, "Hey man, I appreciate that," which like matter of fact, I don't even think I told Chap. But my buddy like, man, hey man, when you said you went through it to get to it, it really motivated me. You know what I mean? So like I said, we getting the feedback, we getting certain things like that, and I'm understanding that. Hey, I don't really want to get into the pattern of putting finance before my ministry. You know what I mean? Because as long as I can provide for my family, I believe that's sufficient enough. You know what I mean? I don't need the whatever. Now, I just want to provide for my family and do my ministry. That's where we at.
Right. No doubt. And that's growth. You know what I'm saying? And that's maturity. That's maturity. And because that's what has to happen. We have to grow. We have to continue to grow so God can go us. You know what I'm saying? As we grow, we go. And that's how this thing works. And the more we tap in, because I see a lot of times what we do, we don't do the right thing long enough
Mm.
to get a result,
Right.
to get the desired result that we're asking God for. You know what I mean? A lot of times we do things just long enough to say, and when something happens, we're like, oh man, you know, and then that's another thing with practicing with marketplace ministry. You know, we're going to do things long enough to see the breakthrough.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if something comes up outside of what we're already trying to do, then we got to look at what came up. Is that more important than what we are doing now?
Right.
Or can you do both? You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes people try to juggle so many different things and then they drop the ball on the most important thing. You know what I mean? And that's what we have to work on every day. And so that's what Marketplace Ministry is about. We're about being direct, you know, and getting clarity and just moving the way we're supposed to move, not the way we have to move. When you have to do something, that's not a good thing. That's not good. You're supposed to move when you're supposed to do something. That I believe you're supposed to take the initiative to make that happen.
Right.
But when you have to do something, when you're pushed in a situation, man, that's not good. And that's where we have to learn how to be obedient and stop sacrificing. You know what I'm saying? Because we sacrifice a lot of times the wrong things. You know what I mean? And so, you know, it's life lessons. Lessons, I believe lessons are blessings.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know, I got the shirt on. The more you learn, the more you earn.
Yes,
You know
sir.
what I'm saying?
Thanks.
And that's what we're learning here. We're learning every single day from one another. You know, I had a powerful, you know, I do on Saturday and Sunday, I go hard on my walking and stuff. You know, I normally do 4 hours, and, you know, I did 6 hours today. And it was a reason why, because I connected with someone that I'm very close to, you know, and we had some things that was going on that we had to pan out as men and as family, brothers. You know, I touched bases with my baby brother today, and man, it was so powerful today, man. I'm not going to disclose yet who he is. You'll find out what it is. It's going to be a special guest on here. But yeah, God is rekindling through us a relationship that you know, it's just a timely matter. It's timely that we have come together because we have work to do in the kingdom together. Right. And I'm excited about it. I was so excited today. I did another 2 miles.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? Yeah. I was like, wow. I was like, okay, God, this is crazy. You know what I mean? And so, like I said, but I was obedient.
Right.
I didn't sacrifice another day.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? On another day. When God told me to do it, I did it.
Yes.
You know, and that fruit that came from it was the fruit that I was looking for. You know what I'm saying? It was the desired result that I've been looking for. But it's, a lot of times God told me to do it plenty of times. I'm like, nah, I'll call him later on. And I don't call him. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I don't do what I'm supposed to do.
Yes, sir.
And then now, like, okay, I put that off. So I'm right now, I'm in the way of not putting important things off. Yes, sir. You know what I'm saying? We're not promised to see. Not even tomorrow, to see later on tonight. Right. You know what I'm saying? So through his grace and mercy, through God's grace and mercy, it's sufficient for us. Man, if he tell you something, man, move on it. Move on it. You know, so I move, you know, because the funny thing is, the reason why we have to move on it, because when I was in sin, when I was in them streets, when Satan told me to move, I moved on it quickly. And that was for my demise. So if God is telling you to do something, you have to understand that, man, why wouldn't you move when God tell you to do something? And that's for the good. You know what I mean? So it's just all about training. It's all about renewing your mind so that you can hear from what God is saying. You know what I'm saying? Because there's many voices out here. God says, whose voice will you hearken to? If you know my voice, my sheep know my voice. You will come. You will listen to what I'm saying. You will do what I'm telling you to do. So what was you going to say, my brother?
Yeah, you know, one thing too about Marketplace Ministries, man, and what makes it so good is, you know, we it's a group effort. You know what I mean? We have support. You know what I mean? Like when I go through, you there and vice versa, you know what I mean? So, and we just trying to expand that. We give y'all our stories because we want y'all to understand that we not just preaching or trying to teach. We are partakers in, you know what I mean? We not perfect, you know what I mean? The goal is to let y'all see, our testimonies, you know what I mean? Real lifetime testimonies. These happening right now. You know what I mean? Chap just had this conversation this morning. You know what I mean? Like this is great. We not talking about what we did in 19. No, we talking about change today. You know what I mean? We talking about growing as a people today. We're not talking about Martin Luther King. No, 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 no. We talking about our own testimony. We
Right.
our own people, everything. We're trying to start new. You know what I mean? Not to knock or disregard anything that happened in the past or anybody else movement, anybody else ministry. No, no, no. That's not what we're about. We about starting our own. You know what I mean? For today's issues and today's trouble in society. You know what I mean? This is what we're about, and we giving our own testimonies to show you that we not just talking about this. We really living what we talk about. You know what I mean?
Right.
In day-to-day fashion, like real lifetime. That's why I love this, because it's real lifetime. This is not not no history book, not a story. This is real lifetime stuff that we do
Right.
on
Right.
day in and day out. You know what I mean? So we just trying to give it to y'all so y'all can understand. I don't know what you're going through. I don't know if you have family issues or whatever. But we did. We do. And we are in the process right now trying to iron things out. You know what I mean? As men, with our family, me and my father, just a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? So
Right.
but the trip is we want y'all to do the same thing with y'all family. If it's somebody that you don't talk to, or if it's somebody that you had a grudge with, you're not the only one that get into it with your family members, man. We saying the same thing, however, the bigger person is the one that's going to speak up and apologize, you know what I mean? Even if you wasn't wrong, you know what I mean? But
Right.
at the end of the day, it's bigger than you. It's about your siblings. It's about your kids, your cousins. It's family, you know what I mean? Community, you know what I mean? Family make the community, you know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
all of it come hand in hand, man. We have to get our families tighter, and we come and saying, hey, man, there's no book or nothing like that to tell you how to do it. You know what I mean? So we give you our personal experience and our testimony, and hopefully, guys just catch on. You know what I mean?
Right. And another thing, man, just to add on to what you were saying, man, as we communicate with each other and have dialogue, what we're doing now, people are tapping in and just listening to our conversation.
Right.
And that's how we start. That's how we birthed this ministry, because we figured out, man, let's have real talk and invite people in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody's dealing with similar things. And a lot of times, even with the church, people are pointing fingers at the church. Yeah, you're right. I did the same thing, but God pretty much told me to keep my mouth off the church, because that's what, touch not my anointed, do my prophets no harm. But what he also said, he said, we be the church. We need to become the church. Anything that we don't like in our lives, or whatever we don't like what's going on in the world, we need to be that. We need to take control, and we need to come together and let's make that happen. Because you can't, the more you talk about what somebody else ain't doing, you ain't doing what you're supposed to do neither, because you talking about that. You know what I'm saying? If you see a problem, you see an issue, then you need to step to that, and do what you are called to do.
Right.
Because God's calling us in this time now, man. This time that he's calling us now, man, is to a higher place, man, because he's after his souls. You know what I mean? And whatever is going on right now in society and in communities and stuff like that, people are going, people think things are going to get really, really better for them, because they trying to plan on making it big financially. Man, you better wake up and smell that coffee for real, because you don't know what else is coming after the pandemic. You know what I'm saying? To them, the way the government is setting up right now, it's a new world order to them. They getting ready to shift into another lane. So we have to understand we have to understand as people that hear from God and people, you know, that's paying attention to what's really going on. You know, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna work on my household, but I'm gonna stay close to God as I can, so I can get the download, so I'll know what to do when it's time to connect with others like-minded, that we can move as one body and one man. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, Marketplace Ministry, God has given us a platform to put this work out there. This is work.
Right.
Put this work in. And we talking about a revival.
Right.
We're talking about having a revival, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's cut the entertainment out. You know, and that's what me and my baby brother was talking about. You know, he was even letting me know that he's tired of entertaining people. You know what I'm saying? Because God is speaking to him, and he blessed. You know, I thank God I was obedient by talking to him today. He was like, "Man, I'm done with the entertainment, man. I'm done." Like, yo, let's go direct these souls. You know what I'm saying? And we're not. It's not about being afraid of the devil. Nothing. Now, if God is pushing us, then that's all we need. If God got our back, who cares who's coming against us? It don't even matter. You know what I'm saying? But the bottom line is, to hear him talking like that today, I already knew where he is as far as where he was at, but we just never really had the conversation what we needed to have today, and it broke some ground. It broke some ground up. So now I'm like, man, I'm like a locomotive right now, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm like a train, but not ready to wreck. You know what I'm saying? And the bottom line is, you know, at the end of the day, you know, we have, you know, just I have to keep going, reference in the Bible, you know, the man in the tomb, when he was stricken with all those demons, you know, Jesus cast the demons out of him. Jesus asked him, who are you? He said, legions. Jesus cast the demons out of him. He was so powerful, he didn't even know how powerful he was with all them demons, because he's supposed to have been dead. Because once them demons cast out of him and went into the swine, the pigs jumped off a cliff. That's how strong them demons was, drove them off the cliff. And the demons was asking Jesus, like, they were saying, why do you torment us? Why are you making us leave? It's not our time yet. Jesus was like, yo, get your tail out of it. You know what I'm saying? But he didn't even say get away. He didn't say get away, nor he told the man after he got clear, after he got set free and delivered from the demons, he said, Jesus, can I go with you, master? He was like, nah, you ain't got to go with me. Stay in this territory. Now this is your territory. You done took the territory from Satan. So that's what we have to do in these communities. We have to take territory. And I'm going to give you an example on how we take the territory, because just like the coyote and all that, all you got to do is kill one coyote and hang them up. And when that stench, the other coyotes smell that stench, they ain't coming. So that's how we have to go at Satan. We have to back him up, get him up out of our communities. And now we have to stand guard in our communities now. You know what I mean? Once we drive him out, we have to stay, because we can't kill him now because his time ain't up yet. But we can drive him out of our community. But when we drive him out, we got to have gatekeepers there. You understand? We have to put gatekeepers in place, so that way Satan can't come back through the gate. Once we get him out of the gate, we can't come back in. You know what I mean? And so that's the strategy I believe God is taking us to right now, because with all this other stuff going on, with, you know, we got Chicago, you know, they getting ready to send the federal marshals there, you know, and people want to go to war. That's what Satan's about. He's about war. He want to kill. It's already blood. He want to shed more blood. So God is like, nah, we're not going that way. We got to drive that sucker out of there. Drive him out. And so that's what these revivals is for. And it ain't going to be church as usual. It ain't going to be the revival that you think it's going to be. Because God this is kingdom. This is kingdom. We ain't there to entertain nobody. We want somebody to say, what must I do to be saved? How can I gain Christ in my life so I can have eternal life? You understand? We're not there to play music so somebody can act dumb and dance and all that and do your nasty thing. You're not there for that. We're there to drive Satan out of there. So whatever he bring, it don't even matter right now because we covered. We covered under the blood. You know what I'm saying? And so we have to understand that walk. And that's why I was excited, man. I've been waiting for this for a long time. That I'm gonna be honest with you, that devil was chasing me. That devil chased me for a long time, boy. He had fear. I had fear of me for so long, and now I'm fearless now. I'm not fearful anymore. I'm fearless. And that's where God is wanting us to be. So, because you can't go out there playing with Satan. You better not go out there playing. You know what I'm saying? He got something for you if you playing games. It's not about the game. I ain't trying to be seen by nobody. I'm just trying to do the work with God. I praise God that Marketplace Ministry has been chosen for a time such as this. You see what I'm saying? We're thankful right now. We're thankful, and because we ain't gonna mess up. We don't have no room for mess ups, and that's why we check ourselves before we get on here. We make sure we repented. We make sure our household is decent, is up and moving. And whenever things come, we got to straighten it out. Whatever crooked, we got to ask God to help us straighten it out. So we ain't on here. This ain't just social media, getting on Instagram, blab it and have it type message. No, this message is a sobering message. This message, we trying to pierce your heart with what God is telling us so we can move as one body. That's what we're trying to do. And we're going to do it. Because God said all he needs is a few good men. He said, God don't need 100,000. Nah, all he need is one, two. He said two connect. One can put 10,000 to flight. So imagine two.
Right.
What we can put to flight. Yes, demons. So that's what we after. We after souls, man. And so we ain't on here talking prosperity, money. No. We don't know. We already know what that's about. We already know what that's about. We know what we're gonna do with it. So we ain't got to talk about it and glamorize it and put it out there and have people following us, trailing us. No. There ain't no blood gonna be on. You know what I'm saying? We're going to teach you what God is telling us. We're going to tell y'all what God is saying to us. And if you feel free and feel led, we want you to walk alongside of us. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what we're talking about, coming together as one body. What you say about that, Keith?
Oh, yeah. And it's real life time. You know what I mean? Like I say, this is what's most important about it. Like, this is real life time. Like,
right.
Like I don't know how I don't think people really I didn't even really understand, you know what I mean, till I seen so many things happening in real life time. You know what I mean? Like I say, even today, you know, by us being here, like we make decisions man, we make decisions on the go. You know what I mean? You know, by what God tell us to do. You know what I mean? And we follow that. You know what I mean? And we just trying to get that to everybody else because everybody can build a relationship with God. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it ain't like we special or nah, man. He just know we gonna listen. He know we gonna and that's what you're gonna have to do too. You're gonna have to listen. You're gonna have to listen to get outside of yourself. You know what I mean? Because you know, I don't know how old you are or where you've been, but if you've been doing the same thing since you've been born and you still getting the same results, it's time for you to try something different. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and that's what this is, man. This is something different, man. We're not charging you. You know, we're not doing none of that, man. You know, like I said, we starting out with our introductions as far as on how we communicate. You know what I mean? And we finna get out into the communities, you know, and many more things. But like I say, we just need people to understand, man. We trying to get these people to God, man, and it's very hard right now in the times that we live in. You know what I mean? Because people are really scared. You know what I mean? People, you know, they don't really understand. You know what I mean? So it's just a lot right now. We're really trying to get everybody to God, man. Let go and let God, man. At the end of the day.
Right.
This is
Right.
Real lifetime, man. Like, if you need something today or if you need a conversation today, we here today. Like we ain't gonna say wait till
Right,
Wednesday
right,
or Sunday. Like nah, we here. You know what I'm saying? Like if you got something going on, we've been paying people that I done sent to chapel already. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a chaplain. I'm not gonna act like you know what I mean. But at the end of the day, I am a connector. You need a connection. I can get you the chat. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can give you my little piece of advice. But if you want the real deal, I can get you the chat. And one thing I know, chat, he gonna pick up that phone. You know what I mean? And he gonna give you what you need. You know what I mean? So I've seen it happen more than once, more than twice, more than 3 times. And me myself, I'm a partaker. You know what I mean? So I don't really promote nothing I don't believe in. You know what I mean? Or
right,
have
right,
the fruit of it. You know what I mean? And I'm the fruit. You know what I mean? I'm working and everything. Like I was telling Chef, it was a point in my life. I couldn't work. I mean, not because I wasn't physically able, I wasn't mentally able. You know what I mean? I wasn't emotionally stable. You I couldn't do it. I couldn't. Like I couldn't. I couldn't. You know what I mean? It was just impossible. You know what I mean? For me to deal with somebody telling me what to do. 8 hours out the day and a wreck. You know what I mean? So, like I
right,
say,
right.
man, I'm living proof. I'm going to work every day. You know what I mean? I went to work today. You know what I mean? Like I say, man, somebody else out there that might need to hear this. Might got a similar story or whatever, man. Like I say, man, come together, put it in the pot. People need to hear that. You know what I mean? Like, because like I said, I was a wreck. I couldn't work. And marketplace ministries really, got me out of that run. You know what I mean? And like I say, now I'm able to provide for my family. You know what I mean? I make my kids love me again. You know what I mean? Like, and this is just the beginning. You know what I mean? This is just the beginning. I'll get better, better. We're putting our families together. You know what I mean? I was the black sheep of the family, and now I got to get it back together. You know what I mean? How ironic, huh? But at the end of the day, it really don't matter because God gave me that assignment, take it with a smile. You know what I mean? And that
Right,
just,
right.
you know what I mean? So once you get to that place where you can take your assignments with a smile, you really, God is really, pleased by that. Like because if anybody know my family, man, y'all know, like, you know what I mean? And it's like, with that being said, I feel as though it's my duty, my obligation to get them on one accord. You know what I mean? And that's what we had. Thanks to Marketplace Ministries, you know what I mean? And, we just want y'all to get some of that same info and the same juice, man, and you can take it to your family.
Right, right, no doubt, and that's what this is about. This is about energy. This is about evolving. I heard you say something about your kids loving you again. They never stop loving you.
Right,
You
right,
know what I
right,
mean?
right.
But I know exactly what you're saying. And see, and I'm glad you said that because we have a lot of men out here that we need to do better at home. Even if you're not with your children, even if you're not with your children. My children don't live in my house. My son lives with me, but my daughters live in New York. So the bottom line is I make sure I connect with them all the time, even when they don't sometimes feel like talking to daddy. You know what I'm saying? I make sure I say something so they can respond to it and let me know that they with me. They still with me regardless. But if you stay absentee from them and you allow the world to dictate how you deal with them, man, the gap is going to keep growing. The gap is going to keep growing. I think us as men, we need to come together, or you need to get into yourself and say, "Yo, man, hold up, man." Because I know people go through different things in life. You know what I'm saying? Maybe their father was dealt with them like that. So now you figure, oh, it ain't no big deal. My dad dealt with me. No, it is a big deal. It is a big deal because I'm telling you, the system, the world is not playing with nobody, and you're not there to protect and provide for your children. Man, the Bible says you're less than an infidel. That means that you have no good success, men. You have no good success. So I submit to you, try to do better. Connect with us. Talk to us. Marketplace Ministries open. You can DM us. Our page is almost done. You know, so you can tap into what we're doing. So that way we can help. If you need help in that area, tap into what we're doing, because we all sat where you sit right now. You understand what I'm saying? And so God just helped us get on the right foot and stay on the right foot as we stay connected to him as well as each other. Because God says, how can you say you love me who you can't see? But then the people down here that you can see, you ain't showing love?
Right.
They're a liar. The Bible says you are a liar then. And that's just in a nutshell. And I'm talking to me first. So I'm not no liar. So I make it my business to make sure I stay connected to my children and to my family.
Right.
You know what I mean? You have to have the order of God. It's God, your family, your wife, your family, your kids, you know what I'm saying? And your family's after all of that. God, wife, children, family.
Right.
You know what I mean? But if you really operating in the agape love, which is the unconditional love, you'll make room for everybody in your family. Not saying that you got to do for everybody and get drugged, but you have to, if you really loving the agape love, you're going to be concerned about your people.
Oh, yeah.
There's something that's going to touch you and say, yo, hold up, let me just give him a call. See, we got to get off of we thinking that we can take financially and all that. All sometimes somebody needs is a call to say, yo, I was just thinking about you. Yo, how you doing? Boom, 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 boom. You know what I'm saying? And I'm telling you, that goes a long way. So how you think your kids feel if you ain't talking to them about that? You feel what I'm saying? If your kid now, if you just call your child, we got to get off of that guilt conscience stuff. You know what I mean? Just call your child and say, I love you. How you doing? What's going on? What you doing today?
Right.
Man, they'll talk to you. Right. But if you shy away from that, they ain't gonna talk to you because you don't know what they're dealing with. You feel what I'm saying? Right. So we have to grow and mature in that area. And God already knows. He's just waiting. Like people say they waiting on God. No, God is waiting on you. He's waiting on you. You ain't, matter of fact, you ain't never waiting on God, because he's always waiting on you, because he's already done. He already predestined what you're supposed to do, but you just have not done it yet. Because everybody in the world we live in has to have a purpose. Everybody's ordained with a purpose. Right. Before your mother's womb in Jeremiah, he knew us. So at the end of the day, we have to line up with our purpose. And you'll never know your purpose until you get a vision. Of what you're supposed to be doing, because without a vision, you don't even know your purpose. And what's going on with vision is magnetic. When we all share vision, we move the same. Because we all, like Marketplace Ministry, we have a vision, we have a mission statement, we have core values that we move together on. These core values and these mission statements, so we look the same. When you see us, when you see Keith by himself, he ain't by himself. You understand? It's somebody else just moving different in a different way. But when you see us together, you're gonna be like, dang, man, y'all talk alike. Man, y'all think alike. Because it's unification, it's unified. We are uniform, and that's how God is. He's unified. So you like you said, I mean, I'm telling you, we to the point now we're finishing each other's sentences now. Oh yeah. But guess what? Y'all don't know what we do behind the scenes. We go hard. We talk. I mean, we communicate so hard, but we don't be talking about foolishness neither, though.
Like today,
go ahead.
Like today, we was talking. You know what I mean? And I talked to Chef before we went on live. You know, he asked me like going home because I was working. You know what I mean? I was like, of course. You know, and I was just letting him know, like, I'm not. You know, mindset is not to put monetary gain of my ministry. You know what I mean? Because I thank God for trusting me with this ministry. You know what I mean? And I know money is all legal. Put money over my ministry, you know, and that's something that we spoke about earlier today, you know what I mean? And like I said, we don't just get on here and, nah, man, we really go through, you know, our issues. And I say that so you can find you someone to, you know, have you, or even with us, if you want to call one of us or whatever, you know, you can, you know what I mean? But, like I say, you know, we don't just get on here and ribble and rap like, nah, man. Everything is calculated. You know what I mean? Everything is thought out. You know what I mean? Everything is spoken about. You know what I mean? And that's how come. You know, and it's crazy because I was telling Chap the other day, I don't know where I would be if I didn't have this. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't even like to think about it. You know what I mean? I don't like to think about, you know, nah. You know what I mean? None of the roads lead to a good place. You know what I'm saying? So I don't even put my mind. I'm just appreciative of what I do have. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, like I said, we just what's up, JP? You know, we just want everybody to really get some of this energy and like understand because like Chef said, we getting ready for a new world order, man. Like what used to happen, these people ain't gonna let continue to happen. You know what I mean? So, you know, they already sending federal aid into communities and things of that nature. So, you know, we really had to get ourselves together, you know, personally and spiritually, emotionally. You know what I mean? We had to get closer to God, you know, and get us some people who really, you know, like minded. You know what I mean? Because, you know, we can't do it by ourselves. You know what I mean? We get you a accountability partner, you know, and boom, rock it out like that, man. But at the end of the day, we cannot act on the same way and thinking that, you know, we doing the right thing. Like, nah, like that's not right. I mean, we can't, you know, because if we were going the right way, we wouldn't be having all this turmoil, you know, things of
Right.
that. So, you know, you got to look deep into yourself and at yourself and say, hey, what can I do better? You know what I mean? Like some people say, oh, no, I'm good. Nah, you're not good. And like, trust me,
Right.
you have a uncle, a cousin, or somebody that you can, you know, mend the relationship with. You know what I mean? Or something. You know what I mean? We have to get outside of ourselves and start looking at family. You know, how can I help the next person? You know what I mean?
Right.
Instead of you trying to get the next person help you. So now, how can I help the next person? You know what I mean? We have to get out of this selfless, you know what I mean, and just start, you know, caring about the next person. You know what I mean? And that's what we at, man. That's what
Right.
we with.
Right. And you know, it's good that you brought that up as well. You know, that self-righteousness stuff, man. You know, because, you know, he's not raising people to be selfish.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He's raising you to share, but to enlighten people and to empower people. It's not enough to give somebody something. And now, if you give somebody something, let it be from your heart. But if you know what it will do to you, if it you know it can hurt you, if it's not dealt with, you need to let people know. Just like they have instructions. You know, when you get a game or you get anything from a store, what do they have? They have instructions in there, right?
Right.
So when you give somebody something, you got to instruct them on what can happen if you don't do it the right thing. If you put the batteries in the wrong way, then it ain't gonna work.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? And so the bottom line is that's just like a child. You know, a child when they get a game, now these children now they run circles around you with technology for the most part. But when the child is really young, if a child is 1 year old, for the most part, and you buy them a game from the store, and it needs batteries to operate. You can't just give the child the game and then they know how to put the batteries in a certain kind of way because they may not know. So you got to give them and operate it. And so that's what we have to look at. You know what I mean? We have to look at things that, you know, we have to be upfront and personal when it comes down to when you give a person something, you have to make sure that they get in return, they get to know how. You know, like when we're given something, when God gives us something, he gives us instructions with it. He don't just give us, God don't give us something and don't tell us how to operate it. You know what I mean? He tells us how to operate it. So that's what we have to do. When we give somebody something, we have to give them some type of instructions. You know what I mean? You know, well, this is going to work like this. Make sure you do this. Make sure you cut that button on. Because I had an iPhone at my job, right? And I have an Android phone. You understand what I'm saying? A stylo phone. I'm going to upgrade my phone too. But at the end of the day, I had an iPhone, right? And so I couldn't get my messages. So my boss, my supervisor, was trying to connect with me, and I said, I don't know what's going on with this iPhone. I turned it off, turned it back on, and so somebody in the line, one of the people that served us, they was like, open it up. There's a button on the inside that you got to click up, and then you can get back on. You know what I'm saying? Because when they gave me the phone, the job phone, they didn't give me no instructions.
Wow.
They just felt okay. I know how to use it,
Right.
without asking, have I ever had an iPhone before? You see what I'm saying? So no, they gave me the phone. So I'm sitting there trying to mess with the phone. A guy in the line, he was like, nah, hold on for a second. He said, he pulled the flap open that I didn't even know was there, and he clicked the button, and I was able to lock back in, to get back into my emails. You know what I mean? And so, like I said, we have to, when we give somebody something, we have to give them instructions too. You know, we just can't expect for somebody to get something and then they know how to operate it automatically. You know what I mean? Because that's doing them a disservice. You know what I'm saying? And that's what God is saying. When we share something with somebody, break it down for them. Help them to understand, so understanding can be understood.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so this is what Marketplace Ministry does on a day-to-day basis. When we get on here, man, we trying to connect with y'all. We trying to collaborate with y'all. We ain't trying to be ahead of nobody. We definitely ain't trying to be behind nobody. We want to be on alongside of each other. You know what I'm saying? So we can move forward in this thing called life. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't know how long this thing is set up. Man, the way these things are, man, if you really do the knowledge and look at what's going on, Russia and China, and man, they allies, man, please. There's so much foolery going on right now. You better get close to God. You better tap in. You better tap into God, because at the end of the day, man, hell, we better come together, man. That's why God is raising his army now. He's raising his people now. What he's doing, he's raising, he's getting the bride ready. The groom is coming for the bride. So we have to be ready. So at the end of the day, man, you know, we have to come together as one body, not like we know everything. Because there's, like I said, Marketplace Ministry is a big puzzle, but we got missing pieces. We need people to come and fill in those pieces, man, so we can move as one man. And I'm telling you, we can all eat. And we can have a smorgasbord. You know what I'm saying? We can all eat now. Let's get off of that. Nah, I can't eat. I can't feed my family. Yes, you can. It's enough. It's enough. When you go with God, it's more than enough. You know what I'm saying? It's more than enough. And so at the end of the day, man, we have to come to that realization and come to that, you know, that ideology and say, listen, man, hold up, man. This person got some pieces that I need. You understand? And now, boom, we connect. And that's just how this thing is moving. So Marketplace Ministry, we appreciate y'all coming on. What's going on, Crew Pop, man? We see you, man. You know what I mean? We definitely see you, man. And I'm coming to Houston, man. I'm coming to Houston, my brother. We're going to break bread. We're going to break bread, man. It's time.
He missed the first part, champ.
Hey. Well, he on point though. He come right in on time. He know how to fit in. He know how to get in where he fit in. You know what I'm saying? He know what we talking about. He know what we doing. He know we kingdom. He know we on some kingdom minded stuff, man. This is different. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, man, when I come to Houston, man, we're gonna blow something up, man. Yeah. We're gonna blow something up in a good way though. We're gonna let the devil know that we there. You know what I'm saying? He can't stop us. Yeah. He can't stop us because he's an already defeated foe. You understand? And God is gonna surround us with the angels to protect us from any hurt, harm, or danger. You understand? But but the thing is, this is what we have to do as a body. If I see you twisting up, I'm gonna pull your bootstraps up. but in love though. You know what I'm saying? If I see you doing something crazy, I'm gonna pull you up. Just like if you see me doing something crazy, if you really love me as a person, as what we trying to do, you need to pull me up. You know what I'm saying? But you ain't got to cuss at me. You ain't got to do that. Just say, yo, chap, what's going on, man? Hold up, chap, what's good? And I promise you, if you come like that, you know, well, right now I'm checking myself. But I could be checked by anybody. You understand? I'm not perfect. So we have to help each other in that way. You know what I'm saying? Because if we doing ministry and I see you, if you quacking like a duck, I'm gonna call you out. I'm gonna call a duck. So don't get it twisted. Just be ready. Just be ready to constructive criticism in love, though. You know, we ain't coming here boasting or bragging, but this is how sharp we have to be. We have to be uniform, because so many times in ministry people are doing crazy stuff, man, and the whole thing is falling in. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'd rather be by myself than allow somebody to come and mess something up that I'm doing right. You know what I'm saying? Especially when we know better. You know what I'm saying? We know better. And we got to learn how to do better.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? That's what the bottom line is. And so we coming in love, we coming in peace, shalom, nothing missing, nothing broken. You know what I mean? And we just gonna allow and let God use us, man. Because we giants. We giants down here. We don't need no pistols. We don't need no AKs. We got God. He's the big gun.
Right.
He's the big gun. God and his angels. You think your guns are something, man. Listen, I believe in these times we're living in now, Keith. Man, we're gonna see some angels, man. We're gonna see angels appear. I'm telling you. I feel it, man. I listen, I feel like this is what God is saying. This is the time God is saying we're gonna see some things that we have never seen before.
I have not seen, ears have not heard.
Eyes have not seen, ears have not heard. We living in those times, man. These are the times. And matter of fact, Marketplace Ministry, we believe it.
Okay.
So we're gonna receive it. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, about to call him Tupac, but Pupac, we got you, my brother. Cause I can feel your energy, man. I feel your energy, man. I know once we touch down, man, we got some work to do, brother. We got some work to do. You know what I'm saying? Once y'all meet my baby brother, once y'all know who my baby brother is, then you'll see who I am and what we about to do. You know what I mean? And so that and God, and funny, God jokes, man. God is like, you know, if you God to laugh, tell God your plan. Tell God your plan. Cause at the end of the day, man, God is like, man, I done set this up already, man. Y'all getting excited. This is already predestined for y'all. You know?
If you know how God works, man, that's why I'm laughing. Man, like I say, man, I'm supposed to be at work, man. I don't even want that right now, man. Look, I want what God talking about. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I don't.
Right.
Shit, man. Nah. You know why you gotta leave?
Right.
You know what I mean? I gotta go, man. You know what I mean?
Right, because what God is talking about, man. Whoo, man. He talking that good stuff, man. God is talking that everlasting stuff.
Yeah, when you walk with God, man, you can turn down money with a smile on your face. You know what I mean? Like, you know, hey, I don't got to worry about nothing. I know what I got going on will be taken care of.
Right.
I don't have to worry about it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's just a beautiful feeling, man. And I just can't wait. Go ahead.
Right. Because we on money with a purpose, man. We ain't on just money. We ain't on just mammon. That's what it is mammon. So at the end of the day, when God places in our hand, we're going to know how to distribute it, because Marketplace Ministry is a distribution center. God called us a distribution center. So whatever you need from us, from Marketplace Ministry, we got it. Because we connected with God. We got what you need. We got what you need. You need prayer, we got you. You need assistance. You need some mentorship. We got you. You understand? When you need some money, we're gonna show you how to get it spiritually. Get that spiritual account first.
Right.
Have you open up a spiritual account before you open up that other bank account. You understand? Because you need that spiritual account first. Because without that spiritual account, nothing else matters.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing else matters. It's all going to fall down. You know what I mean? And so we just love what's going on right now, man. And I'm appreciative of the energy that we get now. Because when we first started the thing, like when you first start something, that's how it is. We was like, dang, man, we only got one follower. Remember that, Keith? Remember that? You was like, dang, man, chap, we ain't seeing nobody. I was like, man, that ain't. And then you was like, chap, I don't know, man. You know, I said, man, it's coming, bro. It's here.
But you know,
It's
chap,
here.
we done been around the world with this thing already, man. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, we done been around the world with this thing, man. We done had a lot of fun, you know, developing this thing, man. You know, even though it's hard, you know, a lot of stuff going on, craziness, but you know, I really, really enjoyed, you know, putting this thing together before we really get ready to serve it to the community. You know what I mean? Like, you know,
right.
the process was beautiful, man. Like process, you know. And see, I don't think a lot of people really take time to appreciate and understand the process, man. Like, you know, God was chopping me up on so many different ways, and like, wow, like, you know, punctuality, you know, just consistency, you know, just going to work, period. You know what I mean? Just go to work, you know, get yourself out of this rent, you know, because you have to take care of yourself first before you can go get anybody. You know, you have to take care of yourself, you know what I mean? So that's what God did. God took care of me, you know, put me on jobs and things of that nature, man. And now, like I say, you know, the process is almost over, and we ready to serve the people, man. And it's a beautiful thing, man. It's so beautiful, man.
Right. And you know, and it's supposed to be, man. We ain't supposed to be grudging in this work, man. God says, be a cheerful giver. We give of ourselves right now. So we have to be cheerful in what we give. You understand? We can't be like, nah, if nobody listen, we don't care. Nah, we ain't coming on here like that. We coming on here with an attitude of gratitude. You understand? Because we're thanking God for where he has brought us from. And you know, the bottom line is where he's taken us. You know what I'm saying? He's taken us somewhere. He's taken us to a place to help other people. Right. And you can't be in a better situation, man. There's no better situation than this, man. There's no better, because at the same time, we're working on ourselves first. See, that's the caveat to this. We working on ourselves. We ridding ourselves of different things. So now when we go to certain people, boom, we can and tell them, man, this is where we used to be. Now we're here. Do you want the same thing? Do you want to follow us as we follow Christ? You understand? But I ain't following nobody. I don't care how much money you got. I don't care how many cars you got. I don't care how many houses. That don't mean nothing, because the word of God says, what would profit a man, all the riches in the world, and then the end lose his soul?
Kanye.
Man, you can profit everything down here, and then the end get cracked wide open. Nah. No. I'd rather have my Volkswagen Touran right now, you understand, in my townhouse right now, and have peace. You understand? That surpasses all understanding right now. The car, I can go get a car. I can go get a house. Real talk. But I'm after something that's worth something to God. See, that's what I'm after. I'm after something that's worth something to God, and that's souls. And that's souls, my brothers and my sisters, you know, my kids, my family, so that's what it's about, man. It's about going out for the better, because people are struggling out here, man. And it's not fair, because I know they making mistakes, but at the end of the day, nah, God is saying, go get them. Go get them. Because Satan's taking advantage of him. He ain't got no power. I've given y'all a power over the ability. So go get him. And we're charged to go do that. And so, but we have to strategize to go do that. Just can't go out there running out there, because the Bible says you have to be as wise as a serpent. Right. You understand? So serpents know how to move. You know, so at the end of the day, we got to be wise enough to say, okay, boom. Let's go this route first. We have to have conversation and dialogue with one another And then we send people from the north, south, east, and the west as they come and support what we're doing.
Right.
And so, yeah, man, again, Marketplace Ministry, you know, Keith, man, our relationship, bro, is growing.
Yes,
You know what I'm saying? I can feel it growing. It's like God has given us so much leeway because we're humbling ourselves to be able to walk alongside of each other.
Right.
Because that's not easy. That's not easy, becoming a marriage, becoming one. That's not an easy situation. That takes work. That takes humility.